Hey YouTube, it's your boy, it's your Cossport1, coming at you with another video here. This video you get to see my hair, because I'm not wearing a hat. So, yeah. I'm going to talk about the Chicago Bulls season opener. My guys tearing it up on that court with Boozer and Noah. I've never really been that big into Boozer, you know. The last time I was really big into Boozer was when we signed him. I thought it was going to be a big thing for the Bulls, and no, hasn't really showed up too much so far with the Bulls, but tonight he really showed how good of a player he can be. I'm going to read you out the stats, but first we're going to talk about the game. We played awesome defense the whole entire game. You know, we were stopping Sacramento. You know, it's just classic Bulls defense. You know, and the good thing, you know, there is some good things about Rose being out. One thing is the ball. It's more of a team game. You know, Rose can also have a really. He can have like a 10 assist game. You know, he can think a pass first point guard, but then again, he will take a lot of our shots. You know, Thibodeau want him to take those shots because he is our star player. So you know, obviously you're gonna want him to take the majority of the shots. You know, he's MVP. But you know now, you know with Rose out, which I'm hoping he's back, because obviously we're a much better team when Rose is back, because he will be back. Um, but we're obviously much you know a better team with Rose. Blah blah blah. Almost repeated myself there. Um, but yeah, but now it looks a lot like a really good team play. You know, pass, find the open guy, and play defense. Look for an open shot. And every time that happens for the Bulls, you know, if you get Dang, if you get Boozer, if you get them wide open, or another thing that we do, work it in the paint. Give it to the big guys. Give it to Boozer. Give it to Noah. Give it to Gibson. Give it to them. Also, another thing that I like about this, you get to work with the bench. You know, you get to see how good this bench mob is. This is a new bench mob that we have in Chicago since we got rid of almost everyone except for Jimmy Butler and Taj Gibson. Otherwise, everyone is gone that was there for the last 2-3 years. So yeah, let's get going. You know, Dang, he didn't play that great. I mean, he had 7 points, but he was there. 3 for 13. Um, 41 minutes played. He did have 12 rebounds, which you know you can't go wrong with rebounding. When you out rebound a team, you're usually gonna win. We out rebounded the Kings by 6. So obviously it's much better. You know, you see it all the time. Whoever gets the most rebounds is usually the winner of the game. So yeah, Boozer, he had a double double. Ended up with no, he didn't have a double double. Just about though. He had 8 total rebounds and 18 points. 8 for 13. Looked really good. You know, we saw him with Utah. He was the star of that team. Um, besides Darren Williams, obviously, because Darren Williams is awesome. Probably one of he's a top 5 point guard in the league. But yeah, Boozer can really light it up. He's not really known for his defense as much as his offense, but you know he has a stellar fadeaway. He can do a lot of really good things offensively. And Noah, you know, he worked with Abdul-Jabbar this offseason to work on his offense, and it's really showing in this game. He had 23 points and was 6 for 12. Another thing that really worked, he was 11 for 12 at the free throw line. This guy, you know, he has the weirdest shot, the weirdest free throw shot in the NBA. And, you know, he makes it a lot of the time. He is really good with that free throw shot. You know, it's like this weird, like that, almost like he's using 2 hands almost. It's a really nice shot. It looks smooth. You know, it's honestly, I take that. It's not a nice shot. It's a shot that's going to be made by him. Really, with free throws, you just want to get down what works best for you. And he even does that shot whenever you see him do some mid-range shots. And one thing, Noah is a very underrated not free throw, field goal. God damn it, I can't think of the word. Mid-range shooter. He's very underrated. He can get a 15-footer easily. You know, that shot is very accurate of his. But yeah, and then now look at his paint game's awesome. Yeah. So Richard Hamilton, another guy who had a stellar game for the Bulls. 19 points and was on fire. 7 for 16. He just looked great. He was 5 for 5 at the free throw. This is going to be a key guy in our lineup until Rose is back. Those 4 guys I just named up are going to be a key guys right there. You know, Kirk Heinrich, I wouldn't really call him a key guy. He had 3 points tonight. He looked bad with his shot. Um, that's the thing. He's kind of there to create open shots. The Bulls did not look very good at their 3-pointer tonight. It was 2 for 9. Only guy who made it was Bellinelli and Nate Robinson. So yeah. But Heinrich, he ended up with only 3 points, 1 for 7, and he hit a free throw, and he was 1 for 3 on the free throw. So, yeah, you know, like I said, he's kind of just there to pass it. Honestly, I do like Nate Robinson a little bit more than I like Kirk Heinrich. I also really like Marcus Teague. You know, a lot of people, you know, I think Marcus Teague has a lot of potential for this league. And he could be a really good backup for the Bulls and possibly even a starter in the future for another team. You know, I don't think he's ever going to start for the Bulls, you know, unless Derrick Rose is, you know, hurt, has a career-ending injury, you know. But yeah, I really like Marcus Teague. He didn't play it all tonight, but yeah. Let's do Taj Gibson. He had 4 points, 19 minutes, 2 for 6 on his field goals. Yeah, he looked really good. He had 5 rebounds. You know, he looked good for just coming off the bench. He's one of those guys that come off the bench and he'll really spark you offense. He'll spark you defense. And this is another guy that is actually a pretty good mid-range shooter, and he is a human highlight reel. I swear to God. Uh, his dunks are amazing. Some of his dunks. I've seen a couple times against the Heat. He really plays his best against the Heat. Um, this guy's right up there with Boozer, to be honest with you. I've always really liked Gibson. I almost think he could be a starter for us, possibly even this year. Bench him over Boozer. I mean, put him over Boozer, and you know, I doubt that'll happen because we're paying Boozer so much to be on this team, which he's obviously overpaid. Um, you know, I really like Gibson, and to be honest, I like him better than Boozer just because he can play defense and he can also play offense. You know, and that's something we don't see with Boozer. Um, he can't really play defense. He showed tonight he can play offense, but isn't very consistent. Boozer, he's not a very consistent player like he was in Utah. Sure, I think we will probably see that this year. What is this? His 3rd year with Chicago. We should see it. He stayed healthy all year last year, which is very good. Really was a big factor on our team getting the best record. Just because how he played last year. The only problem I have, like I said, is his defensive inconsistency. So yeah. Bellinelli had 6 points, 1 for 2 field goals, 1 for 1 3-pointer, and 3 for 3 on his free throw attempts. Now, this guy, I really like Bellinelli. I liked him when he played for the Raptors. I even like him more now because he plays for the Bulls. I have always really liked this guy. You know, he is a really good 3-point shooter. He's very underrated. He is a starter in lots of weaker teams that don't really have a really good shooting guard. He could even be, the thing is, if Hamilton goes out, he is the guy that we're going to call on, and he's going to be a guy that's going to show up night in and night out. Trust me on that one. Because this guy, he can shoot really well. He worked on some things in the off season. He is going to do great here with Chicago. And we all know Hamilton is injury prone. So I'm quite positive he's not going to play an 82-game season. So we are going to see Bellinelli get some starts this year. Maybe up to 20 starts, 30 starts. Just depending on Hamilton's health. I'm sure we're going to see at least 20, you know, because I just can't. You know, another thing, I think Thibodeau really should play it slow with Hamilton because he's going to be a guy that we're going to need in the playoffs because him and Rose, they work great together. We saw a little bit of it last year. They didn't play that many games with each other. I think they played like 20 games with each other. But those games, they looked really good with each other. I really like the pick and roll we do with Richard Hamilton. So, yeah. But Bellinelli, I kind of got mixed up in talking about Rose and Hamilton. I almost lost my spot there. But yeah, Bellinelli, he's going to be very good for us. Nate Robinson, like I said, 3 for 8 field goals, 1 for 2 3-pointer, and didn't take any free throw attempts. He had 7 points, very good off the bench. You know, So yeah, Nate Robinson, we could see him as a starter sometime this year if Kirk Heinrich doesn't show up or if Kirk Heinrich gets hurt. He does have a little bit of a groin injury right now. But honestly, I've already said this. I really like Nate Robinson. I like him better than Kirk Hamilton. Kirk Heinrich. But yeah, uh, Jimmy Butler. He's another guy that I like. Last year we saw him a lot for defense. We're still gonna see him for defense. But he was a rookie last year. This is going to be a big defining year for him. I am hearing a lot of good things about him. I haven't really followed up on him too much. Besides, he's a great defensive player. And yeah, so this guy, he only played 11 minutes tonight. But I expect to see more playing time from him because he's a great defender. Um, Honestly, I think he's one of our better players on our bench. And we got a lot of good, people said that the Bulls missed a lot from their bench, because, yes, we did have a really good bench, but I think we still have a good bench. Gibson, Donelli, Robinson, Butler, Muhammad, Teague, and this one guy, I don't know how to say his name, or Donovich. Can't tell you anything about him because I don't know about him. Can't really say too much about Teague, because who knows how he's going to play in this league. He didn't even play at all tonight, so yeah. Yeah, Bulls win uh, in a big game, 93-87 season opener. Actually, I wouldn't call it a big game. I want to know, 81 more games to go. So yeah, Anthony Davis lost in a really good game that he played tonight. I might talk a little bit. I've never really said my opinions on Anthony Davis. Besides that, I really like him. He's like 19, 20 years old, I think. Really young. Um, but yeah, you guys tell me what you think of this video. Please comment, subscribe, and press the like button, okay? So everybody, peace out.